Hello, Feely Humans. Welcome to another episode of You, Me, Empathy. My name is Known Wells. I am the host and creator of this podcast. I'm also the founder of the Feely Human Collective, where us messy, mushy humans, grapple with the wonders of empathy, vulnerability, and emotional curiosity. Hi, I'm so grateful you're here. Welcome to anyone who is new that's listening. Hi, welcome. This is a soft, feely space. Your soft heart is welcome here. Your feelings, however big they are welcome here. And for those who've been listening for a long time and know me and all that stuff, hi, welcome back. Thank you for listening. Thank you for leaving a rating and review. That does help out the show, truly. If you like this podcast, if you like my conversations with beautiful humans like Nora McInerny, please leave a rating and review. It does help out the show. So, before we get to it, just a couple of things. I am not a therapist. I am not a mental health professional. I am a feely boy who does a lot of silly things and had an angry childhood and youth world. I toilet papered a lot of houses. That was a thing I did. I did some vandalism, stuff that I don't love. I don't love that I did that, but I did, and I'm sure you can relate because we all change and we have to change, and that's what we do. And I talked to Nora about that. So that's the disclaimer. If you need help, if you are struggling, seek counsel with a therapist or someone you trust, someone who feels safe, someone you can talk to. So the other thing I wanted to mention up top is there's a content warning here. Suicidal, ideation, grief, and death are mentioned, but in funny, only, Nora-like ways. So that's the content warning. The other thing I need to mention is that please subscribe to the newsletter. If you can go to feelyhuman.co, click the banner at the top, subscribe to the newsletter. That's the best way to stay in touch. Or you can follow on Instagram at YouMeEmpathy or at feelyhuman. The best place, though, to learn about the upcoming community, the membership community I am building that is launching in January of 2023, subscribe to the newsletter. It's going to be exciting. I'm making a lot of progress there, and very excited. It's going to be a place with ongoing events, content, access to me, matching, one-on-one matching, just a place to be seen in all of your beautiful wholeness. So subscribe to the newsletter, and that's the spiel. That's the admin spiel. This episode, I'm very excited. This episode is with Nora McInerny, the author of many books, but most recently, the book that just came out last week, Bad Vibes Only. The book is wonderful. Nora is wonderful. I recently drove up to Los Angeles to see Nora's live show of Terrible Thanks for Asking at the Regent in LA, and it was just goddamn delightful. It was wonderful, and Nora is a delight. I got to meet her, give her a hug. She was showing off her abs. It was wonderful. It was great. And I'm so so grateful to have Nora on the show. The funny thing is I reached out to her maybe in the first year of You, Me, Empathy back in 2018, maybe 2019. And it just didn't happen then. And it happened now. We were able to make it work. We talk in this episode about why nothing matters and everything matters all at once. The tension between your personal value and what you create, the loneliness of being an adult, Nora's grief, and how that has impacted her capacity for empathy. We talk about and are interrupted by Nora's ancient Shih Tzu, Stacy, interrupted with her barfs. That happens, so look out for that. I tell a very personal and deeply embarrassing story that happened to me recently about, me telling a big fat lie. So look out for that. We talk about how Nora is now the owner of Terrible Thanks for Asking. It used to be on public radio, or public media has had partial ownership of it. And now Terrible Thanks for Asking is all Nora's, and how the process for Nora has been just like a very Taylor Swift situation. So we talk about that. We talk about how Nora's last job will be a mail carrier. We talk about why human connection is everything. We talk about how a youth group leader once told Nora that sin was like a game of checkers, and so much more. Just a wonderful conversation that's wayward and beautiful and empathetic and vulnerable, and just grateful for Nora for being a human in the world, for writing Bad Vibes Only, which you can get anywhere books are sold. I recommend bookshop.org or your local bookstore. Support local bookstores. Support Nora as a writer, as a human, as a feely human. Yeah, subscribe to Terrible Thanks for Asking, Nora's pod. And the show notes for this episode, as always, are at feelyhuman.co. feelyhuman.co. Okay, let's get to the episode, shall we? This is a wonderful one. This is Bad Vibes Only with Nora McInerny.
La la la, you, me, empathy, yeah, la la la.
Welcome to You, Me, Empathy, the official podcast of the Feely Human Collective. On this show, we explore the struggles, the triumphs, the brights, and the darks we face as humans, trying to be human on this wondrous and overwhelming pale blue dot. And part of being human is messing up this intro, which I'm just going to keep doing. You, Me, Empathy was created so that we can be witness to our collective humanity through the lens of empathy, vulnerability, and emotional curiosity. We aim to destigmatize mental health, lead fiercely with our hearts, feel our feelings without shame and judgment, and share our courageous stories so that others may feel less alone and more connected as feely humans. You, Me, Empathy is a brave place designed to inspire the beauty in each of us, because each of us, in all of our kaleidoscopic parts, makes up a magical whole that deserves to be seen. Today, I am feeling all of the feelings because I'm here with creator and host of Terrible Thanks for Asking, author of many hilarious and beautiful books, including her latest essay collection, Bad Vibes Only, and probably the person who loves a late hotel checkout more than anyone on the planet. It's Nora McInerny. Hello, Nora.
Hello for me and this ancient Shih Tzu who will be groaning into the microphone. She comes to life only and only if and only if I'm recording something. Otherwise, she's passed out on the floor 23 hours a day unless there's a microphone on, in which case she needs me urgently.
Oh my goodness. I mean, this is a pro dog podcast. I have two dogs myself. So what's the Shih Tzu's name?
Her name is Stacy, and I am her emotional support animal. She offers me no support whatsoever. I am on this earth to support her and her needs.
I mean, yes. I mean, it should go the other way around from time to time.
It really should. Every time I see it, I'm like, did that animal consent to being our emotional support? Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't they have enough to worry about?
We don't deserve them. We don't
really
deserve
don't.
them. Yeah. So Nora, the way this show goes, we always kick off with an emotional check-in. I know you're familiar with this, so I'm going to ask you, and I need you to plumb the depths of your humanity and your heart. How are you feeling?
In this exact moment, I'm feeling so good. The ride has been wild. And I will say that probably not even a month ago, I was just having such regular, intense panic attacks. I own the podcast that you just mentioned, finally, after almost 6 years.
Big news.
This book is coming out. We're going on a tour. These are all like things that I would have not even been able to dream of 10 years ago, 20 years ago. As a child, I would have been like, what's a podcast? But all of these things are such good things. These are objectively, the kind of thing that you say congratulations to someone for. And it all felt so overwhelming that I would wake up in the middle of the night and like, I would just be telling my husband, like, I want to die. Like, I want to fucking die. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I just want you to do it. I just want you to like find the reset button at the back of my skull, press it. I would like a coma.
Take this pillow.
Take something, push it down. If I fight, no, I'm not. Like, it just was these feelings were so intense. And I'm having fewer of those, but I am still, making anything, especially for like a long period of time, a short period of time, putting anything out into the world, it does require like just almost a constant assessment of your perceived value. It's really, really hard to pull those things apart, the way that your work is going and your own personal value. And I would love to blame that on, like a creator economy, a gig economy, any of this stuff. But no, like I was like that even when I worked in a cubicle and had like 360 reviews about writing tweets for great clips. I've always been like that. Like I think it's a personal thing.
Yeah. I mean, I relate to that. I struggle with, just generally self-esteem stuff, right? Feeling like I don't deserve good things or joy or joyful experiences. But I'm here to tell you, you do, and I do. I mean, that intellectually.
But when you hear someone else say it too, you're like, no, don't feel that way. It's like when you hear someone else say like, oh my God, I just don't want to be alive. It's like, oh my God, dude, no. And when you're feeling it, you're like, yeah, dude. Like,
that's just us armoring up. That's just us projecting. That's just us like, let's do anything we can to like put it off of ourselves. Yeah. Because it's easier to put it on someone else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's real like, Oof. So yeah, it's been really heavy, which is also so strange because it's like a happy time of year, right? It's been summer. The kids have been home. We've been like having fun, or they've been having fun. And I've been like locked in this office being like, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? I'm now like responsible for all this stuff. Like, and it's like, geez Louise, this dog is just groaning. I'm pretty sure Zoom mutes out dog groans, but I can hear it right now. And I'm
going to add in
She's
like
really enjoying it.
just extra dog groan like sound
it
effects.
doesn't even sound like a dog. It sounds like the old woman she is. Just
I love it. I mean, #1 Shih Tzu podcast, You Me Empathy. So do you, it is a big thing. Terrible, thanks for asking. Huge show, with, public media, right, for a while. And now it's you. Like what?
Yes.
How did that come to be? Why did that come to be?
I'll say it's just a very Taylor Swift situation. It's just a very Taylor Swift situation.
You're going to have to enlighten me. You're going to have to educate me there.
Oh, God. Okay. Taylor Swift did not own her albums, her first 6 albums.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and that would shock anyone, right? Like she wrote it, she made it. How's she not the owner of those albums? And I do believe that if you create something and you pour yourself into it, and its success is a direct reflection of who you are and the work that you've done, that you should own it. And so now I do. And that was a very long and emotionally taxing process. But I have it now. And now a whole new emotionally taxing process begins, which is, I was an English major, not a business major.
Same. English major.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here for the I'm here for the analysis,
Let's talk
right? I'm
about
here for
Dante. Let's
Yeah.
talk about, I don't know, Jonathan Swift.
I'm here for the
Amada's
talk.
proposal.
Right. I'm here for the talk of
Yeah.
it. I'm not here, I'm like, there are all these other details that suddenly I need to, one, learn what they are. A lot of stuff I just was not aware of before. And so it's like a huge learning process. And
Hence that overwhelm.
yeah, hence the overwhelm, right? Like you
Yeah.
just want to be, or at least I want to be good at things, and I want to be good at things as fast as possible. And so it's very,
Of course.
even
Very
though I'm like,
human.
I look at my children every day and I'm like, it's okay. You just don't know it yet. It's okay. It's okay. You're 9. You're literally not supposed to know everything. I'm 39. I'm not supposed to know everything. And yet,
You're saying I'm Nora. I'm the person who has to know everything and be best at everything. And therefore that excludes me from any sort of scrutiny or judgment or whatever, because I'm the best and I'm the goodest.
oh, I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like it's like that. I get more like I am deserving of every insult and every bit of scrutiny because I should know. I should know. I should never make a mistake. Ever. Fine if someone else does it. If I do it, what a loser.
Have you always been like that? Because that's
Absolutely,
a tough
yes.
headspace.
Absolutely, yes. I've been like that since probably the day I was born. I was actually just talking to my mom about that this morning. And I was going through, she made my baby book she delivered it to me when I was 37 years old, just a baby. And there's all these notes that I wrote her, like at 5 years old, writing like apologies, writing these like overwrought apologies for like being a child,
Wow.
And it's really, really intense. And there's who knows how much of it is wiring, how much of it is nurture versus nature. But our dad was a complicated man, and he was he went to Vietnam when he was a child. He was 17 years old.
Right.
He was 17 years old when he went to Vietnam, and came back to an unfeeling, unsympathetic country that still does not truly care for people's health and mental health.
Right. And
sort of had to just figure out how to hide those wounds on his own. And I think it's very normal for adult children of alcoholics, for children of alcoholics, for people who are being raised by traumatized people to want to be as good as possible, to want to be as perfect as possible, to really have like very, very little tolerance for their own humanity.
Right.
So, and I think, my siblings are really similar to me. Like they really are, which is, a bummer because I think they're all great.
Yeah. It feels unsustainable to me, Nora.
Oh, it's totally unsustainable. I think like not even once a year. It's like, I mean, I have like periodic, like just moments where I'm like, oh my God, I have to stop everything. Like I have to pull the plug on everything. I've got to delete my entire existence off the internet and go be a mail carrier, which absolutely is my exit strategy. That will be my last job. At great benefits, lots of time outside.
Yes, lots of
interactive, lots of walking,
lots of dog interaction,
lots of just like, I just like the idea of like really like having a lot of like connection with, a neighborhood. Like it's such an intimate thing to like walk up to somebody's house, I don't know. I always say hi to my mail carrier because, I work at home and, I'm sure, you're like, wow, I haven't seen a person in a minute. I haven't seen a person who's not my family in a minute.
So you've talked about this recently, like the loneliness of being an adult, and then especially an adult who works at home, which as I do as well. Got to tell you this. So I did this thing that's deeply embarrassing just last night. So I used to play soccer for the longest time. I played it. I got a soccer scholarship to college, all of that.
Damn. Wow. Wow.
In high school, my team was the number 1 team in the nation. I know. I'm patting my own back. So,
wow.
anyways, I hadn't
so
played
cool.
in like 7-8 years.
Yeah.
I'm 41. And so I I have like hip issues, it just happens as you get older. So I was like I was invited by a friend of my wife, Jessica's, this guy named Brent, to this pickup game. And I was anxious. I have some social anxiety. I'm an introvert. It's my first time, like really like engaging with a lot of people, and all strangers, right? So we play this pickup game. I think it was like 9v9 or something. And I did well. And, it was fun and et cetera, et cetera. And we were winning. And it was toward the end. My team was winning. And one of the guys on the other team said, was kind of complaining. And he said, this is not fair. Virtually everyone on your side is under 40. And I just blurted out, I'm 45. I'm not 45. I don't know why I said that. And then he said, wait, you're really 45? And I doubled down. I said, yes. And it gets worse, Nora. After the match, he's telling everyone, this guy's 45. He plays like he's 25. And then he's like, just so happens I have a 45 and older league I would love for you to be a part of. And at that point, I'm like freaking out internally. I'm like so full of shame and embarrassment. I don't know what to do. So I just like keep it going. Because at that point, I can't say, sorry, I don't know why I said I'm 45. I'm actually 41.
I love this.
He got my number. So if he texts me, I'm just gonna like cop to it and just say, I mean, I'm already copping to it on air.
Yeah.
But like I'm just gonna tell him, like, I don't know why I said that. Some social anxiety, just like, but I think a part of it was like a little bit of defensiveness and like maybe even ego, because I was feeling defensive for my team. Like I was feeling, I don't know why. It was just in the moment I said 45.
Oh, no. Where is she? She's throwing. No. Oh,
throw up on the carpet.
Yes.
Oh, it's always the carpet.
Oh, Stacy. What a fun time. Oh my God.
Poor Stacy. They always manage to do it on the carpet.
Always on the carpet. I'm like, our whole house is concrete. Could ya?
Yeah, you got to find the soft spot.
Yeah.
I'm convinced they don't want the backsplash.
Yeah.
You don't want that on your recording?
Yeah, I don't want this. Well, and yesterday she whizzed while I was literally standing right next to her. I was like, you could have asked. I would have taken you out. I was literally holding her like a baby.
This is good content when you do an episode of outtakes.
Okay.
So,
oh, God. Okay. I love that you did that. I know that feeling of just like saying something, because it like in the moment, it also like feels true, right? Like you're like, no, I am 45 actually, right?
Well,
you round up.
It's a rounding up, but it's also like, hey, I'm 41 and I'm like, I'm doing well here. I'm competing with like some 20-year-olds and it felt good, right? So I think it was part ego.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's part ego. It's part of like, it's like, it's such a weird thing. And I think everybody does that and no one says it out loud. So I'm very proud of you. I think that's a cool thing to say. No one admits that. Everyone's like, no, that never happened. I don't think, did I say 45? I think I said 40. 5 is my favorite number. I said 40, comma 5 is,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You're right. Like that's another lie and also gaslighting. And I don't want to do that to that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, wanted to share that embarrassing moment because this is a feely place full of feely things. So you've also mentioned, Nora, and I deeply relate to this, that like I also feel a deep overwhelm a lot, and that overwhelm makes me want to shut down. And you said somewhere, I don't remember where, something along the lines of like, nothing matters, so why try?
Yeah.
And I feel that deeply as someone, like, I think what's interesting about it, and maybe it's the depression too, I struggle with depression, is like I am a deeply passionate person, and I know you are too. Like, you have a huge heart, you care deeply about people and humanity and making the world a better place, and we feel like nothing matters. Isn't that an interesting thing? Like, I think maybe it is the plight of the feely human to have those two. Maybe they're not oppositional forces, but it's this strange juxtaposition.
Yeah, they're not oppositional unless I don't really know how anything works in the world, so I don't know why I would. But it's like it's like a vortex, right? Where it's like nothing matters, so why try? Also, nothing matters, so why not try? Also, everything matters.
Yes.
So why try? Also, everything matters, so why not do it? It's all like mixed together. It's like a mix and match, and I cannot predict what day I will feel what.
Yes, I feel that.
You know, I think even though I keep track, like I've got this like way that I journal where like, you know, but I guess I'm not very good at the analysis part of it.
Do you feel like, do you believe in God?
I wonder if I do. I have before.
Right. Grew up Catholic, right?
Yeah. And then for a long time, I was like, no, sorry. And then for a few years there, I was like, yeah. And I feel weirdly defensive of God when people don't believe in God. I'm like, hey,
okay.
hey, come on now.
That's interesting.
You know, I've got a 9-year-old who is, I mean, the little kids went to Lutheran preschool. So, and the things that they retain from that are so strange. Like the littlest one will say like, God's dead because everyone killed him and they nailed him to a cross. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the crucifixion is an intense story
Heavy
to be
Nietzsche
telling.
Vibes with your 9-year-old.
Right. God's dead. And he's going to come back, but no, he won't. Then he'll disappear forever. I'm like, wow. Okay. So the things that the things that they recall from that or that they have remembered are so interesting to me. But I was trying to explain to our 9-year-old who has children, who has friends like of all kinds of different faith backgrounds or no faith background, which I love, and explaining to this kid why like the concept of God. And he was like, oh, like he was like embarrassed by it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that kind of made me sad, even though when I look back at me being 9 years old and sitting in a church pew, being afraid God would be able to read my mind and know that my mind was wandering, that's fucking sad too. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sadder that I thought that like the judgment, I never thought my goodness was innate. I thought that it was highly, highly subjective. And even though I remember singing like, Jesus loves me, this I know, like that song, I never thought God loved me. You know what I mean? I was like, and I don't even remember people saying that, like God loves you, like you are good. And the first time I heard that was like from a bunch of Lutherans when I was, you know, after my husband Aaron had died. And I was like, yeah, maybe I can be a Lutheran, right? Because that was the first time I'd heard something like that, right? Like there's this like innate goodness in you that some all-knowing force recognizes and puts there. And somehow and by the way, I know plenty of Catholics who are like, what the shit? We say that too. I'm like, I never heard it. In fact, felt the opposite way. I remember being in a youth group, which is I think one of the more toxic situations that you can put a child into is a Christian based youth group. And our youth group leader had said that sin is like checkers when you king a checker, right? And there's 2 checkers on it. From the top, you can't tell, right? So from the top, whether you are rude to your mom or you stab someone to death, it's all the same sin to God.
Wow. Okay.
I was like, are you sure?
I mean, that's a lot of pressure.
I was like, okay, then I guess I'll stab someone. Like what?
Yeah,
I was like, what lesson do you want me to take out of this? It was just so strange. And, Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I sometimes I think it's like undeniable to me, right? Like like you have these moments, or I have these moments, I should say, where there's just so much beauty in the world. And I think, and I've said out loud, like, how can you not believe in God? And my husband will be like, oh, it's pretty easy for me.
Well,
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I
You know?
relate deeply, and I vacillate between the like nothing matters and everything matters too, right? And I think it's because I do want, I crave for meaning. I crave for purpose. I crave for like, and I think at this point I'm like, at this state, like I grew up in an evangelical space where I felt like, oh, I can't touch my penis because like then it's gonna fall off and God's gonna like lock it away, zapping it with, I don't know, electric bolts for eternity or something. That's how I felt.
Oh.
And now I'm at a place where, yes, like there is so much beautiful mystery, and I think there's a lot of beauty in the idea of allowing for all types of truths to occur, right? And so I'm at this stage where I'm like, I'm open to any and everything, really, except Trump or anything in that camp. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. And I think if you were raised to believe that God is a vending machine that gives you good things if you push the right buttons,
yes,
that's a hard God to let go of until you push all the right buttons and you don't get what you ordered.
Right. So, I mean, I brought up God because I feel like when we feel like nothing matters, religion or a God or a power outside of ourselves can bring us some solemnity, some comfort. And I think there's value to that. And I think the issue sometimes I struggle with, and I see it in my own family, is especially in Judeo-Christian sort of circles, there's a lot of like righteousness, right? And so right now in the work that I do, I lead a lot of workshops on empathy, and a lot of that is about like being still and curiosity and allowing for the fact that we as humans should always be shedding what we know to be open to new perspectives, new ideas, examining our bias and assumptions we make of each other, right? And a lot of times in how Christianity in my family in particular has been positioned to me is like the opposite of that. It's like coming in with this huge amount of armor and no amount of openness to anything outside. And that to me feels hard, and that to me feels sad.
Yeah, it is sad. It is sad. And there's a book by, I think, Abraham Heschel, a rabbi, called I Asked for Wonder. And
Good title.
Think it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I think my mom gave it to me, after the fog of having lost, her husband, also known as my dad, and my husband, and, this pregnancy, just having like all this stuff where I did not turn to God at all, by the way. Like I did not. I threw up a couple literal Hail Marys being like, will this work? But there was nothing in me in those moments where I thought like, oh, don't worry. Like, God's got us. I never thought that. But with perspective, you mentioned like having, like getting outside of yourself is sort of a balm for, the worst of your feelings, which has been very true for me. And when I look back at those years of my life, the years where Aaron was sick, the years after he died, I see God in the people who showed up for us. And the way that we were held, not by some invisible force, right? Like, but by like all of the presence of other people, unexpected people, people that I definitely would not have thought I would have ever leaned on in my life, in a situation I never would have anticipated ever being in. And I do think, when I'm in like what feels like and what I call just the pit of despair, when I just topple into it, the only thing that can pull me out is, obviously, does a medication help? Sometimes, yes. Does sleep? Sometimes do I just need a fucking snack and a glass of water? Yes, absolutely. But what I need is like some sort of connection, and not just sitting like with my headphones on, like listening to a conversation that I had with a person for the podcast, like 3 weeks ago or 4 months ago or something, not just like getting on like a Zoom call. I will call a friend on the phone like it's 1997.
Love it.
I will walk across the cul-de-sac to my neighbor's house. I will go like roll my phone in a closet and like look into my husband's face, like fully look into my children's eyes, get down and like play Beyblades with them. So fun. Legos when they're not being mean to me. They're like, it's not how you build it. Like you do have to like it for a person with my type of melancholy, like that is the thing that helps. Is connection. Like it is definitely a lack of connection. I think it is extremely lonely. We were worried about loneliness as an epidemic before the pandemic.
Absolutely.
We were worried about that, right?
Yep.
Like this increasingly isolated, you're more isolated from your communities if you even have them anymore, for all of its, deep cracks and issues, our lives were organized around communities for generations. So my mom went to a parochial school where like you sat with all the same kids Monday through Friday. You didn't see them you played with them on Saturday in like the street, and then you saw them in church on Sunday. And that's how all their parents knew each other, right? And all their parents knew like all of the teachers. And then you went from that school to the same high school where like, again, you knew all the kids and all the parents knew each other's kids. And that is obviously not the case, anymore. I don't know. It's just, I feel that kind of loneliness as an adult who has children in the house. Like I'm looking constantly for the thing to like organize our lives around, besides just our own unit.
Yeah, it's crucial. I talk about it a lot, and at the same time I struggle with it. I mean, I mentioned that deeply embarrassing story earlier, and I think that's a kind of a result of like maybe not being in the world and being a bit of out of practice because I'm leaning on Zoom, I'm leaning on social media, or just my own head. And I think what I come back to again and again is the beauty of being a mirror for each other and how that can just break open our hearts in ways that's so unexpected. I mean, it's truly how I, as someone who has major depressive disorder, who battled anorexia for about 15 years and nearly died, who had an abusive father, connection and the empathy and vulnerability that is within connection is how I save my life. Plain and simple, right? And I think that can be like, etched into like some Instagram worthy, post, but truly that is reality and all of the messiness and mushiness that is in there. And I think that brings up a lot of discomfort in people.
Oh yeah. It's
and scary.
And even you just like, saying all of that, like there's a risk to revealing that to certain people. We have to take that risk in order to be seen and heard and known. Obviously my podcast is called Terrible Thanks for Asking. Do I advocate for you telling your emotional truth to every single person you meet? Of course not, right? Like you get to decide who is worthy of your story,
Like
who hears the
Brene
truth.
Brown says, yeah.
Yeah, and who's the who's the safe place for it? Like you get to decide that. Like
Yes.
nobody else. And also, like, I don't know, like even the thing I told you at the beginning of this, like there's like a couple moms I know down here, and people that I'm friends with, but maybe have not like confided a lot in, and we are in these conversations, or have had these conversations where someone has asked like, so like, how's it going? Like, it looks like a lot's going on. I'm like, oh my God, like a couple weeks ago, I told Matthew I wanted to die and he made me go to a new psychiatrist. And they're like, oh my God, me too. Like, me too. Like, right. Like, of course. And I just feel so much immense guilt because obviously, like, I'm everything's great, and I've got kids, and do I really want to? No, but I just feel so overwhelmed, and I just want like, a light coma where all of the current worries could just be resolved by time. If I were just taken out of the equation, they would have to be resolved by somebody else, and nobody could be mad at me because it would have all been solved while I was being, gently tended to by a series of hopefully good looking doctors, and turned like a little rotisserie chicken. So
okay.
I don't get any, so I'm
it.
not, unsightly when I emerge from
Don't want
from
that.
my slumber.
No.
And I'm hydrated too.
Oh,
So I wake up hydrated. I wake up
Your
rested.
skin is supple. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And
love
it's
it.
like, and so we're all carrying like, maybe not that feeling, but some kind of thought, feeling, experience that we believe is too much for everybody. And it will be too much for some people, it'll be too much for some people, but like not for everyone. And even the people who I think like might be like, like they've got their own thing too. Like they've got their own thing that even like privately that feels to them like, I don't want to talk about that. I want to know. I don't even want to know that about myself. Right.
Yes. How do you feel like I know you're turning 40 this year, in December. How do you feel like you want to improve in this area for yourself to like maybe relinquish a little bit of control and allow for
all of it? Yeah. Oh my God. Honestly, I was reading while I was writing Bad Vibes Only. And a lot of them are out on my floor, like in the closet right now, but I have every journal that I've ever written. I have every journal that I've ever written from second grade to the present. And when I tell you that this is the most repetitive shit you've ever read, I'm like, I open up a journal from college, from studying abroad, and it could have been written a month ago.
Yeah.
Like, am I doing a good job? I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I just, it's so boring. It's so boring. It's so boring. May I please grow into new concerns and new worries that are somehow outside of staring at my own belly button, please.
Yeah. I relate to that.
Yeah.
Is that hard to admit?
No, it feels good to admit,
Good.
I mean, I was telling my husband the same thing. I was like, oh my God, like this is just so, everybody tells you youth is wasted on the young, and 40 is young, 41 is young, 50 is young, 60 is young, 70 is young.
45 is not young, though.
45, then you need your own league.
Yeah.
But, it's like at every point in your life, you can look back at an earlier draft of yourself and be like, holy shit. Come on, like you were doing fine, or like you can just have so much more compassion. You just have this different perspective for yourself. And, I would tell that 20-year-old version of myself, like, just like literally relax. You're doing what 20-year-olds do. Like you're going to college, you're learning things. Like you are probably an alcoholic and you should go to rehab, but like you'll, whatever. And I would I could tell like my 29-year-old self the same thing, right? It's like, you're just fine. Like you're fine. And what's not fine. And you could take care of that. Like you could take care of that, like you could. I didn't go to therapy till, almost a year after my husband died, like at all. Never. No. So yeah.
What's interesting about that on like a human perspective is like, we know the truth of how important it is to like find that perspective and look back and see like, oh yeah, I could have done it better or whatever. And we know that that's the path. Like as we get older, like, oh, 41-year-old known, what a dumb, right? And yet, like, why can't we, I guess, be in that present moment and say, oh, let's do that now. Like, why wait till 10 years in the future? Like, let's do that now.
Have you had moments where you can do that? Because I have. I've read a lot of Pema Chodron, right? A lot of like
She's
Buddhist
great.
wisdom, which is basically just like, wait a fucking second. Okay, just like that's what it all comes down to. It's like, just wait. Wait a second. Okay, just shh. Wait.
Yeah, slow it down.
Wait. And when I can wait, like compassion will seep in like pretty quickly, right? It's just like it does not, I don't even need to wait that long. I'm talking about like minutes between stimulus and response. Minutes. It doesn't have to be weeks, doesn't have to be days, doesn't even have to be hours. It's like, give it a minute, give it a minute, give it a minute. And like that's happened occasionally recently in recent weeks, like when things have been so stressful and there's so much going on and like, mistakes are being made left and right, or just things are not being like foreseen, things are being forgotten, balls are dropping. And it's like, okay, it's a podcast. Like,
you're doing great.
You're not doing
holding a lot.
You're not doing an organ transplant.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no one waiting on the other side of this podcast being like, if I don't get it at midnight, it's literally not that serious. And if I can get there quicker, I can save myself, the agony of the years I spent at the mercy of how my performance was received by other people. I also I came up professionally. I'm wondering what you did professionally before this, but it's like I worked in advertising and PR and marketing, where I saw this TikTok by, probably a girl like in her 20s, probably a Gen Z. And it was like, no, ma'am, no, it is not a fire drill. We work in marketing. And I wish that I had had that simple sentence when I was in my early 20s, because I was birthed into a corporate culture where millennials were already like, it was like, you're lazy, like you're just lazy. We already know this about you. So we were working constantly. We had no work-life balance. There were no boundaries. And, mistakes were truly like absolutely unacceptable. Like I remember having bosses say like repeatedly, this is unacceptable. And it's like, it's a sentence missing a period.
Yeah.
Like, I think we just update the Word doc and resend it. Like, I feel like, I think, I'm not saying you have to accept this as the final, but it's like, this is unacceptable. It is unacceptable, as though you had like, or getting emails that said like subject line 911. And it's like, this is a banner ad that someone's going to X out of before they get to the thing they really wanted to get to on the internet. Or my husband was, not my husband yet, but he was my boyfriend, and he was getting a brain surgery, and an executive at the ad agency that I worked at, dropped a laptop off at the hospital for me so I could work on a pitch
That's
deck.
gross.
Isn't that gross? And I did it.
Super gross.
I did it.
No, of course you did.
I didn't have any questions.
Yeah. That's the path.
Yeah.
That's capitalism. That's this idea that like the stuff we do is our value, and I think that's, in my mind, that's deeply flawed.
Yeah.
So like, I relate less to that, because in my early 20s, like I wanted to be like Hemingway. So I was drinking a lot and writing a lot, and I moved to New York, and I drove around the country, and I worked on a fishing boat, and I did a lot of that stuff, lived out of my car for a while. And then I, found many different jobs, but, so I don't relate to that.
Yeah.
But I see it. I see it everywhere. and it's toxic
Yeah.
and it's dehumanizing.
It really is. It really is. I'm so proud of you for doing that. I wanted to be a writer, but I did not have any sort of like faith in myself and like my ability to make it happen. So I was like, I need security. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to get a job I hate. I'm going to get another job I hate. After I've mastered that job, I'll get a level up at the same thing that I hate.
Well, I have some news for you, Nora. You are a writer. You've published
Isn't that wild?
many a book, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So, like, I've read all of your books at this point. Actually, I don't think I've read Bad Moms. I didn't read that, but
I recommend. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's so good.
I need to pick it up. Obviously, in your earlier books, you do cover, the loss of Aaron and your father and the miscarriage, and those three things happen in close succession with one another, which is just big, deep grief. And I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry that happened. I do wonder for you, how do you feel like that grief has impacted your own capacity for empathy and what empathy
I think
means?
it invented. I mean, I will say I was always a sympathetic person. I was always a sympathetic person. So I could always feel bad for someone. I could always feel bad for somebody because pity is cheap. It is a free emotion, and I am from the Midwest and I love a deal. So you could just sprinkle that shit on anything, right? I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you. That made me sad. And when you're on the receiving end of pity, you realize how dehumanizing it is, right? It just sort of minimizes a person into a sad story. And I hated that feeling for Aaron because he was so alive and so joyful and so buoyant. And the minute he was diagnosed with, stage 4 incurable brain cancer, and this is like in the era of like Foursquare. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Like we could literally see all of his friends hanging out without us, like blocks from our house. Everyone's at brunch. He still eats brunch, guys. He still eats brunch.
Yeah.
We would see that. And when bad things happen to other people and you can keep them at a distance, it's easy. It's just easier to feel bad for somebody. It's harder to feel with somebody. I feel like once we became other people, I could feel deeply with another person. I really could. And empathy to me is just like imagination. It's having a good imagination.
Big part of it. Yeah.
It's truly just like, oh, wow. Like I can see how that might feel, right? Like I can imagine, I can put myself in your shoes. And it's more nuanced. I feel like it kind of made that almost, not always, because like I'm still an asshole like any other person at various times during the day, but like it has made that more of a default setting for me, more of a default setting. And that's why I started the podcast. I got so many messages from other people who were going through something similar or something very, very different.
Yeah.
But that could feel with me this experience. And I just thought, holy shit, like I am not special. Look at all of these other people going through something. Like, what do I do with? What do I do with this inbox? And it became this podcast so that the people that we talk to, most of whom are just like, we do talk to some authors and some like, notable like people, but we also mostly 99% of the time talk to just regular people who get to own their story, tell their story.
Yeah.
Like the way that they want to tell it. And we really do it with them. We do the interview. We write like an episode, but every person who goes on our podcast sees it before it comes out.
That's
so
nice.
they do a fact check and an emotional fact check because like I want to make sure that the story, that everybody feels good about having been on the show. So,
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And the first thing you mentioned about sort of the Foursquare bit, I think what's hard about that and so relatable too is it's uncomfortable to sit with and be witness to pain and struggle because it makes us think about our own fallibility and our own demise, or this could happen to me, right? And the work of empathy is about, I think you're right, it's about imagination, and it's about allowing ourselves to really decenter ourselves for a moment and be still and listen and be curious and reflect and allow for our stories to relate to other stories, right? Mm-hmm. What about empathy for yourself? How are you at that?
Oh, bad. Bad. Just bad. Generally bad.
Well, the truth, Nora, and I believe this, and I wonder if you believe it too, like, I feel like real empathy work requires us to go inward before we go outward.
Mm. I don't know. Yeah.
Like, do you like, and by that I mean, like, when I want to show up for someone and be present, like, I need to know, like, my own boundaries. I need to know, like, and be in tune with, like, what fills up my heart and where my strengths and weaknesses are. And that's empathy work. Like, that's me getting to know myself and understanding, like, more about me. And the more I do that, the more I can be authentically in front of someone else and be witness to their story. Because I've done work, right? I've done that work of knowing myself. I've done that work of maybe even loving myself, whatever way that looks. Because otherwise, like, how are we going to show up for people if we're just, because then it's become like, it's a little bit of like us showing up with maybe being a chameleon, which I don't think is we want either. We need to be still our authentic selves in the face of other people and their own stories and vulnerabilities.
Yeah. I guess I don't disagree. I also think, like, if I had to live with that much, like, constant awareness of myself every day, like, I don't know how I'd do anything. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't. I don't know how I'd, like, get out of bed. But yeah, I would say, I don't disagree with any of it. I probably just need to sit with that concept a little longer.
Well, you're in touch with your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
When, like, big feelings come up, like, what is your go-to response?
I'd cry. Like,
Yeah.
No, I will immediately feel them. Like, I immediately feel how I feel. Like, I really do. I really do. And I'm still working on that, like, the stimulus and response too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm still working on that. And I think that is, like, that will be, like, the work of my lifetime. But I will also say, like, I'm a good crisis person. My own crisis, somebody else's, like, I can very quickly compartmentalize. Our kid broke his arm, like, on the second to last day of school, second to last day of preschool. And he was so excited to be able to do water day. He had to miss water day because he had a
water
cast.
Day.
Yeah.
What is water day?
They get to spray each other, I think, with a hose all day. I don't know what it is, but it's like they have baby pools.
It's an Arizona thing.
Yeah, it's water day. I was like, I don't know what. He's like, I have to miss water day. But it's like, I get the call from school. He's hurt. He's always hurt. I was like, okay. I head up there and he's like gray. I was like, oh, he's really hurt, and it's just like, I can just, like, oh, okay, now we're in a waiting room for like 6 hours waiting for somebody to see him, even though he's already gotten an x-ray and his arm is broken. Okay, now he needs surgery. Now we're spending the night in the hospital. Now we're doing, it's like, I can do, if somebody else around me, if they're like, their life is falling apart in any way, like, call me. I can, like, snap into action and see things really, really clearly. And I also know that, like, there will be for sure a come down from that. And I will feel it all later. I
Yeah.
know that October, November. Really, October is the worst month for me. Like I had a miscarriage. My dad died 5 days later, and that's like when we knew without knowing Aaron was dying. Like
Right.
we just knew it was bad. That was a bad month. November was terrible too. I'll be making the podcast in November. I may be doing one event in November. I'm going to be home for November. I always am. October, I'm touring the whole time. I'm touring
Right.
the whole time. And I just know that I will get back from the tour and I will like crash hard. Like I will be
Understandable.
like in the dumps that first week of November. I really will. I will be just a wreck. And I just know that my husband knows that. Like, everybody works with me knows that. They're like, okay, like we're going to keep it light like these few weeks. Like, this thing came in. I think we maybe shouldn't do it. Like, I don't think we should probably do that.
Yeah.
And the death anniversaries are always easier. It's the anticipation of it. And it's like that sense memory too, of
Mhm.
like, your body does remember like that time of year and like what things were like. And, it'll be 8 years and I can like still sort of like feel like October and November,
Yeah.
like right here for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Oof, that's a lot.
yeah.
And I think it's very beautiful that you have awareness of the fact that like I have this tour, I got to get through it. I'm excited about it. It's beautiful.
I'm
it's
so excited
wonderful.
about it, yeah.
I'm putting on a face in some ways, right? And that's my protection. That's my that's the thing. That's the role I'm playing in this month. And then the awareness of like, okay, I gotta feel the feelings.
Yeah. I mean,
gotta
because
engage
this
with
book was
this.
supposed to come out in July, not October.
Right. Yeah.
They ran out of paper. So it got moved to October. It's like, wasn't the plan. Like we're rolling with it. And, I also like, it also sort of fits, right? It's called Bad Vibes Only.
It does
We're doing
fit.
like, we're touring it with the podcast. Like,
Yeah, makes sense.
it just like, it all does fit together. So.
You talk about like, being there for your kiddo, on non-water day or water day. Do you feel like you're a good mom?
No, I mean, sometimes, yes. I also think like what I know from almost every parent that I've met is like, you're just constantly feeling like you are messing it up, and you are, right? Like, and you can't anticipate it. I had a conversation again with my mom this morning. She's like, we just didn't know. No one knew that, in the 90s, no one knew. How would we know?
Don't know
and
what you don't know.
you don't know what you don't know, and everyone's doing their best. And I truly do believe that for like 99% of parents. And I do think, most of us are actually doing a better job than we think of. And I think we are. And I also think that
I
even
agree.
the act of, critiquing your own parenting or even criticizing your own parenting shows a lot of awareness.
Yes.
And a willingness, right? Because there were generations of people who never, ever fucking thought about it. Ever
No.
could not have given it. Like parenting was not a verb for a long time. It was not a verb. It was literally like a thing you did. It was a task that you checked off. You had a child.
These kids are just our, helpers.
Yeah, our helpers, our property, like that's what it was. So I will say that I do a very good job. I do a very good job of helping my kids identify their feelings, and also pointing out my feelings. And when I am expressing them incorrectly, I apologize to my kids when I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Like
Love
last
that.
night, I couldn't get something to print. Have you ever tried to use a printer?
Printers are the worst.
Kidding me? It's like every label printed fine, except we were in the last 30 names I needed to print and the last sheet of labels. Okay. So imagine the symmetry, right? We're finished with this thing at the very last, and it just printed backwards, like out of nowhere. Why? And I like lost, and Ralph's like, I was like, Ralph, I'm so sorry. This has nothing to do with you. It's so scary when an adult yells, like, I'm so sorry. And I'm just mad about this thing that is so dumb and doesn't really matter, but it's just because I'm frustrated about all these other things, which also don't really matter. He's like, yeah, I know. It's like, and you think when you yell, it'll like help you feel better. And then it just really makes you feel worse. And I was like, exactly, dude.
Aw,
Exactly.
Ralphie.
Exactly. So, and I don't remember any adult ever apologizing to me,
Yeah, same.
So,
Yeah. I think you're doing great.
yeah.
I think you're doing great.
We're all doing our best, and I think it's also really interesting to like ask your kids, like what, like, are you getting like, is there anything else you need from me? Like, is there something I could be doing better?
Love that. That's beautiful.
What I mean?
Yeah. You've asked your kids that?
Yeah.
What have they said?
Put down your phone.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, that is like, I'm like, I do not want the abiding memory of my children's childhood to be the top of my head, because I'm like, what the fuck am I even looking at? Who cares?
Yeah.
Like it can wait. So
Pema Chodron. It can wait.
Take a minute.
Yeah. Take a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Bad Vibes Only is out October 11th. Is that right?
Yes. Yep. October 11th.
And you're touring with Terrible Thanks for Asking, the Bad Vibes Only tour. I know you're coming to LA. Maybe I should get
on the
tickets.
11th.
On the 11th.
On the 11th.
Wow.
On the 11th. Yes.
Maybe
the
I'll
Regent's
get tickets.
Theater.
The Regent
Yes.
Theater. Yes, I've been there. It's a lovely theater. Yeah.
It's really cute. Yeah.
That's
I'm
exciting.
Excited. San Francisco on October 7th, Seattle on the 9th, Portland on the 10th. And then I'm doing a couple bookstore events all over. And then Philadelphia, Brooklyn, DC, Boston, Toronto, Chicago, Minneapolis, another week of bookstore events. And then I'm home.
Love it. Yes. Yeah. Love it. Yeah. Well, listeners, buy the book. It's lovely. We need to support our authors and writers, and especially authors and writers who are writing about stuff that matters, writing about feelings and real human mushiness. It's important. And good vibes only. No, there's that's not a thing.
Nothing makes me feel less welcome in someone's home than that home goods sign. I'm always like, oh, okay.
It's that, or for me, it's coffee, espresso, Jesus, or whatever. Love, Jesus, and espresso. It's some combination of those things.
Jesus, honestly, famously loved espresso.
Loved it.
He was not a drip guy. Not a drip guy.
No,
okay.
No. He was very snooty about his coffee. Yeah.
Don't talk to Jesus until he's had his coffee.
Yes. Yes. After he has his coffee, he washes the feet, but not before.
Not until I've had my coffee. Okay. Yeah. Live, laugh, love.
Yes, exactly. Well, we'll plug the links and stuff in a moment here. We always wrap up the show, Nora, talking about our empathy heroes. So people in our lives who are compassionate, feely, empathetic humans. It could be characters from stories we love or movies we love. I will go first to give you a moment to reflect on your empathy hero. My empathy hero this week is Frederick T. Joseph. He is the author of Patriarchy Blues. And someone I follow on Instagram, just a wonderful, bright spot in the world. And he wrote this quote that I love, and it says, "You are more than the trauma you have endured, and you can be more than the trauma you have caused." And I just love that. And give Frederick T. Joseph a follow on Instagram. Read his books. Patriarchy Blues, I think, is his second book. But he has another book coming out shortly. Frederick T. Joseph is my empathy hero this week. How about you, Nora?
I love that. That was a beautiful quote. This week, it's Ralph.
Love it.
We're having this conversation. Bedtime conversations are my favorite. And he was explaining to me that there's been some friendship drama in his friend group in 4th grade. And he said, I told both of these kids, I'm not on any side. I'm not on any side because you have your side and he has his side. And somewhere in the middle, there's the truth.
Mm-hmm. Ralph said this.
I was like,
wow.
He's 9. He's 9. I was like, that's really mature of you. And he's like, again, it just doesn't feel good to get in the middle of a conflict. And you talk about knowing yourself, and like knowing yourself allows you to come to like, I do not know many adults who could say that
That's profound.
to another person to their face. Like, I like you both. I'm not going to get into it. Like, I know you each have your own side. Wow. I was like, wait, I'm sorry. What? Like,
That's amazing. Wow.
right?
4th grader too.
4th grade. Yeah.
Tales of the 4th Grade Nothing. Have you read that?
4th grades. Yes.
So
Judy
good.
Bloom, right?
Yeah, Judy Bloom.
Yes.
So good.
Oh, the best. The best. She also wrote, like, I didn't even realize that she wrote adult books. She wrote books for adults.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
good.
Same with Roald Dahl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean, maybe not books. Maybe it was more short stories.
Wow.
feel.
I had no idea. I had no
Yeah.
idea.
I know. I know. I mean, you could see it with Dahl because he did have like a dark sensibility.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
right? Yeah. Anyways, I could talk books all day long, Nora. Big book nerd over here. Jessica, my wife, and I had a book-themed wedding.
Oh, I love that.
And you'll appreciate this. We met in 2007 on Goodreads. That's how we met.
Okay, I got to talk to you about that. I think I'm going to make a podcast about people's relationships because I'm actually on my way. I got to go to the airport right now because I'm flying to officiate a wedding for some listeners.
Oh my God. Wow.
And they've got a really
amazing.
freaking cute love story. And I got to go pack my kit because I didn't ask them, but I'm going to hopefully record their wedding. So
Beautiful.
hopefully they're cool with that. So
They'll be cool. They'll be cool with that. All right. Well, Nora, where can everyone connect with you?
yeah. You can find my website is noraborealis.com, like the Aurora Borealis, which is also my Instagram because obviously I'm a senior millennial. We had screen names, baby. We did not use our real names on the internet. No. The podcast is wherever you get your podcasts or at ttfa.org, which is also where you can get tickets to any of our tour dates. We would love to see you. And you can pre-order or order Bad Vibes Only wherever you get books. Obviously, extra points for ordering it from an independent bookstore. I like to just pick a random bookstore from another city and order books sometimes.
Yeah.
And any bookstore will order a book for you if they don't have it.
Love it. Yeah.
Which is a fun thing to do.
Bookshop.org is also a great resource, supports local bookstores. Well, listeners, all those links will be in the show notes at feelyhuman.co. Nora, what a joy, what a delight you are. Thank you for being on You Me Empathy.
Same. What a good conversation. Thank you for being
You're
a part of my
welcome.
morning with a dog vomiting and
Love
two
it.
kids homesick outside the door.
I mean, you're just showing up with your full self, full human
Still in my
self.
pajamas from 2 days ago. So
Love the jams. Love the jams.
you know what the
listener-
shirt says? It says someone dead loves me.
Love it. Love it. And I'm wearing my Fiona Apple t-shirt.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, listeners, as I always say, I'm here, you're here. We're here together on this wayward, overwhelming, awe-inspiring, pale blue dot. We have each other. It's You, Me, Empathy.